Hiya, today I thought, well, I mentioned yesterday, we're going to be doing kind of photo booth props. Something to keep the kids occupied. The weather down here is changing, I don't know what it's doing with you, but down by us it's changing, so they're going to be stuck inside a little bit. And I thought this at least, give them a camera or an old phone, they could take photographs themselves, and they could maybe even act a play out and take photographs and then have a go at putting it together. So all I have done is I have taken some old boxes that, oh, no branding, sorry, some old boxes that some of my parcels have arrived in the last couple of weeks, and I've painted them block colours to start with, just because that's how I prefer to work. If you want to, you can do your drawings first and then paint them. I've used acrylic because that's what I have. You could use poster paint. If they're going to get wet, then I would suggest you mix your poster paint with a little bit of PVA glue or school glue, and that will make them more kind of plasticized, which means that they'll last a bit longer. So all I'm going to do is, this is actually going to be hair, this one. So I'm going to tilt you down so you can see. And I've gone for wacky colours because I thought it would be more fun. So I am just going to, so if my head, I think, would go approximately there, it's only your face really, isn't it? You don't really want your hair. Then I am going to make this do that. And you could have any style you wanted. And then I'm going to do some extra details in there to try and make it a bit more exciting. You could do moustaches, you can do beards. Now I'm cutting it out with a scalpel. If you don't have a scalpel, you can use scissors. It's just a bit more challenging, and time is of the essence because I don't want you to have to sit here for 40 minutes watching me. So I am using a scalpel on a cutting mat. The cutting mat is not just, in case you didn't know, to protect your surfaces, but it's also because it will stop your blade from slipping. If your blade is on a slippery surface, it will slide about and you're more likely to cut yourself, whereas if it's going into a rubber cutting mat, it won't slip and slide. So, you can see I keep moving my hands, so I'm not cutting towards myself, just in case children are watching this. I tend to do these videos aimed at the adults to show the children, just because you know your child and you know how capable they are. So I could say, oh yes, this is suitable for an 11-year-old, and it turns out that actually your 7-year-old could do it because they're very, very competent with a scalpel. But it depends on what kids are exposed to, doesn't it? So my son's been using power tools all week because that's what we do at home anyhow. I've just hit a bit of tape there, so it's not gone quite through. That should just pop out. Right, so I'm doing mine very, very quickly, so it's not going to be as neat as yours obviously will do. So choose what you want. If you want to, and you're going to be acting out a character with these kind of larger than life props, then think about what the character would wear, how they would look, that sort of thing. So I've earlier cut out, again Blue Peter style, a little crown I'm going to stick on top. I'm just going to use stick glue. Normally I would use a glue gun for this, but stick glue will work just as well if it's in the short term. And what you can do is you can put a little sheet up behind them, you can move all the furniture out the way in one section of the room, and they could maybe have a white wall behind them, or depending on how artistic you're feeling, you could have a backdrop that you've painted for them. And then they just have their camera and their props, and they can become whoever they want to be. And that's how to make props for your selfie booth. Okay, see you tomorrow for more photographs. Bye.